And welcome back to Lake TV's What's Burnin'. We've got a special guest here with us on set. It's Jenny Wall with the Watchdawg report right now. And here's the Watchdawg report. So thank you for coming by. Appreciate it very much.
Thank you very much for having me. I appreciate it.
You bet. So what you do with this Watchdawg report is really pretty important for the community, I think, because you guys kind of keep an eye on what's going on in the community, especially, I think, with political things, right? And there's been so many weird political things happening lately. It's kind of good to know that somebody's keeping an eye on what's going on, right? So it's the Watchdawg report. How long have you been doing this?
We're getting ready to come out with our third issue. Okay. So there was a version a year or so ago, and we set it aside for a while. And just a couple of us came together recently and said, you know, we missed that information. People enjoyed it so much and were asking about it. So just a couple of us came together and said, we're going to cut out all the politics, if you will, right, of a group putting it together, and just we go to the commission meetings, we keep up with local things, and it's a lot about the county government. It also covers state issues. We have very little about the federal government. We figure that's known, you know, from other sources. But the availability to go to sit in these county commission meetings is valuable.
Oh yeah, because most people don't have the time or the energy to go do that.
They really don't. Yeah. And so we were looking for. So we in that version, that issue right there, that was our which one is that? That's the September. Yeah. The October was basically a voter guide for yesterday's election.
So you do one a month, is that right?
Yeah. Okay. We try to. We print according to how many donations we have for the number that we print. Right. And we put them out around the county. You usually find them at the Office Pub over off HH and Rusty Rooster. And we put them at Stokes Dock Company, there by the State College. There's always a stack at Bryant Auction. Thank you very much, Mr. Bryant, and Skelton Key and Lock. Yeah. For those that don't know me, I was a very hard-working volunteer on Ike Skelton's campaign for presiding commissioner. So we were fully validated last night and enjoyed that victory celebration. So we're looking for So we were looking forward to January when we could become a more informational newspaper and less of a, oh my goodness, what are they up to now sort of scenario. We did articles before about school board things and other things, but right now the county has our full attention. Right. There's an article in the upcoming Watchdawg about the Hancock Amendment and how it applied to the gas tax. That's our little piece that deals with a state issue, just to help people understand how our General Assembly works around the voters, which is sort of astonishing. Yeah, it's kind of not the way it's supposed to be. Yeah, yeah. The last issue had a large article about why we should vote no on Amendment 3 to amend the Missouri Constitution, which apparently people didn't read enough Watchdogs, and they passed it. So much baggage in that. So in my time at the commissioner meetings, I became aware of this courthouse and annex renovation project. Right, which is underway right now. It's underway right now. According to a little bit of my background is probably a good thing right now. I spent 32 years at AT&T as a certified PMP project manager. I ran outside plant projects for most of those years. So I have a lot of experience with construction contracts and working with a battery of AT&T attorneys to draw up contract language to make sure that things are as they should be. Sounds pretty exciting there. It was a wonderful career. I enjoyed it very much. I'm enjoying retirement very much. But this happens to be an area of expertise for me. So when I became aware of the Verity project, I was, caught my attention. And in sitting in a commission meeting, I became aware that they had brought in Brian Willey as a project coordinator to oversee the invoicing and work with Verity Group is the contractor to process the invoices. So I had a couple meetings with him. I spoke with James Gohagan and Don Williams. Don I'm a constituent. I live out in the west part of the county. And I was fairly surprised by a couple things. Number one, that this $4.7 million contract was awarded on a single bid. Mm-hmm. That's pretty unheard of.
There weren't several bids that they were looking at. They just threw the money in one spot.
They kind of did. They really did. And since then, I've become aware that it was put out as a request for quote instead of a request for proposal, which in the industry, everyone knows, and everyone who does this should be educated to know that a request for quote is when you have a standard scope of work, like 87,000 number 2 pencils. Mm-hmm. What's your price? And something as complex as this renovation should have been a request for proposal.
Right. Was that under the old regime of commissioners?
Yes.
I'm guessing so.
The ones that are in now.
Right.
That are in now. So Greg Hasty will be leaving at the end of the year, I guess. Mm-hmm. And he is the self-proclaimed construction expert. Mm. I spoke at a couple of meetings asking for status reports on the project. And I thought it would be a simple ask, right? Yeah. How much money have we paid on invoices? And what's the % complete of the work that's done? I mean, that is earned value analysis.
Pretty simple stuff.
Pretty simple stuff. The county refused to give me any of that information.
Interesting. Like maybe they're trying to hide something there.
Well, huh? I suspect that they're upside down, that they've spent more than the work that's been accomplished. Now, Brian Willey, I think, is trying to do a good job with a bad contract. Mm. There's some glaring omissions, like no liquidated damages in the contract. And typically, there would be a retainage clause where for each invoice we pay, we being the county would keep back 10% in escrow, so that at the end of the project, you have almost $500,000 to leverage the contractor to complete to an acceptable level before you pay them that last 10%. We don't have that. What we did pay was a 10% mobilization fee right off the top. So we wrote this huge check for $479,000, apparently, but I haven't seen the invoice yet.
That's crazy.
All right. So I sunshined all those documents.
We're running out of time, but you guys are trying to keep up with all of this in the Watchdawg report.
We are, and I would like to say too, you can email me at contact@Watchdawgreport.com. So Watchdawg has an AW in it, and it's contact@watchdawgreport.com. Get you on the email list.
Okay, greatness. Check it out. Good stuff. Thank you so much for all the hard work you guys are doing in the community.
Thank you.
You guys be sure to check out the Watchdawg report. So we are here on What's Burning. You know what's coming up next? Our furry friends. So we're going to find out about Chuck and Tiffany, our furry friends this week.